In the previous lectures of the topic functions of a complex variable, basically we have discussed the concept of analytic function. What is the necessary and sufficient condition of a analytic function? What is an analytic function? These all concept has been explored in detail in our previous lectures, and hope you will have a concrete knowledge of these facts after attending those lectures. Now today I am going to explore a very important concept of this topic, that is functions of a complex variable, which is in fact the concept of a particular function which is known as harmonic function. I am not going to directly define harmonic function. Before its definition, I would like to say something regarding the harmonic function. I hope you all are acquainted with Laplace equation. You have definitely studied Laplace equation in one dimension, Laplace equation in two dimension and in three dimension in different coordinate system. In fact, our concern at present is about the Laplace equation in two dimension, particularly in Cartesian coordinates. You know what is Laplace equation in two dimension. I just write it for your convenience. Laplace equation in two dimensions is given as how? This is given as del square phi. You know del square is a Laplacian operator. This is in fact del 2 phi del x square plus del 2 phi del y square, and this equal to 0. Let us say this is order A. In fact, a solution of this Laplace equation, what will be its solution? Its solution is in fact phi of xy. This is solution of this equation. And this solution phi of xy are among the most important functions in mathematical physics. In electrostatics, the electrostatic potential solve this equation in two-dimensional free space, and at the same time the same thing is done by the magnetostatic potential too. It means phi may be an electrostatic potential or it may be a magnetostatic potential, and we solve Laplace equation for these potentials and get very beautiful results. When we solve this equation for these potentials, the corresponding field, that is electric field and the magnetic field, is given by the directional derivative of phi of xy. dd of phi of xy in fact gives what? This gives electric field and magnetic field when you solve this equation for electrostatic potential or magnetostatic potential. Similarly, the two-dimensional fluid flow problems, when in hydrodynamics we study the two-dimensional problems of flow of fluids. In fact, such problems described by the functions like phi, and in fact in that case phi is known as velocity potential, and we solve such problems by the use of this Laplace equation. But the nature of function phi remains same, although quantity is different, but nature of the function remains same. Similarly, the solution of Laplace equation phi can also be interpreted as the displacement of a membrane stretched across a loop of wire if the loop is nearly flat. The two-dimensional membrane's vibration is studied by the help of this equation, and in that case phi represents the displacement of the membrane, but the nature of the function remains same. In a physical problem of thermodynamics, where we apply the Fourier equation for flow of heat, rectilinear flow of heat, in that case, in fact, this phi represents the equilibrium temperature. Just I have mentioned these some examples or some references where Laplace equation finds its application and the function phi has different meaning in solving such problems. In fact, in the present situation, one of the most important applications of analytic function theory applied to the Laplace equation has a very important significance regarding the nature of this function, and that very important nature of function is in fact harmonic function. In fact, solution of the two-dimensional Laplace equation is known as harmonic function. Solution of this equation defined in equation A, which is in fact phi of xy. In fact, this phi of xy, which is in fact the solution of Laplace equation in two dimension, this function is in fact known as harmonic function. You say this phi of xy as harmonic function. So, in short, you may say a function which satisfies Laplace equation in two dimension, or which a function which is the solution of a Laplace equation in two dimension, you may say simply such a function as a harmonic function. But for a concrete definition, in a right way, we define it in a particular manner, and for your convenience I am just writing that definition. The conclusion is simple, that the function which satisfies two-dimensional Laplace equation is harmonic function, and for your convenience I am just writing this proper definition in a proper manner. Definition for harmonic function. For your convenience I am just writing it. You may define it as a real valued function. Remember, this is not a complex function but a real valued function. A real valued function phi of xy is said to be harmonic, is said to be harmonic. in a domain D, in a domain D, if all its second order partial derivatives are continuous in D, and if at each point of D phi satisfies Laplace equation in two dimensions. As defined in equation A. You see, this is in fact the appropriate definition of a harmonic function. Remember, harmonic function is not a complex function, but it is a real valued function denoted by the symbol phi of xy, and it is said to be harmonic in a domain D when it is harmonic in domain D if all its second order derivative, it means the second order derivative, that is del 2 phi by del x square, del 2 phi by del y square, these are its second order derivatives. If all these derivatives satisfy Laplace equation, that is sum of these two derivatives equals to 0, then we say that this function phi of xy is a harmonic function in the domain D. Only then you can say it is a harmonic function. Now I hope you have cleared what harmonic function means. Actually, the sources of these harmonic functions are the real and imaginary parts of our analytic function f of z. F of z, you know, f of z has two parts, a real part u and a imaginary part v. In fact, these u and v are the sources of the harmonic function, and this is the and our concern at present topic is regarding this. So we will see that the harmonic function u and v as a harmonic function. So let us now understand how u and v are in fact harmonic functions. We just state it as a theorem. As a theorem, I state it and then I will prove it. As a theorem, we can state that how u and v are harmonic functions. The statement is, if f of z equal to u of xy plus I v of xy is analytic in a domain D. In a domain D, then each of the functions u of xy and v of xy is harmonic. In D. This is a very simple statement. If f of z is equal to this much, you know this u is the real part of this function of complex variable, v is its imaginary part. The statement says these two parts, that is real part of f of z and imaginary part of f of z, both are harmonic functions. If this function f of z is analytic in domain D, then each of these functions u and v will be also harmonic in that region D. In fact, in other words, we can say that the functions u of xy and v of xy satisfy the Laplace equation. You may say, in other words, u of xy and v of xy satisfy Laplace equation. In short, I have written LE for Laplace equation, or you may say that u and v, which are the in fact conjugate functions of a function of a complex variable, or real or imaginary part of a function of a complex variable. In fact, these two functions are harmonic functions, or you may say these functions will satisfy the Laplace equation, or you may say these two functions are the solution of two-dimensional Laplace equation. In fact, when we say that u and v are the solution of two-dimensional Laplace equation, what we say, how we can express this in mathematical way. Mathematically, we may say that this statement can be written as, when we say that u and v are the solution of two-dimensional Laplace equation, or u and v satisfy the two-dimensional Laplace equation, this statement we can write in a mathematical way as how? We can write it as del 2u del x square plus del 2u del y square equal to 0. and simultaneously del 2v del x square plus del 2v del y square equal to 0. This is the mathematical form of our above statement, that the real and imaginary part of a function of a complex variable are harmonic function, which means those functions u and v will satisfy the two-dimensional Laplace equation written in this equation. So this is the statement. Now let us prove this statement. The proof is very simple. In a very small step we will prove this. So let us see its proof. As we know, the function of a complex variable f of z is defined as u of xy plus I times v of xy. And in fact it is an analytic function. You know f of z is an analytic function in a domain D. Let us say it is an analytic function in a domain D. And if it is an analytic function in a domain D, then you know definitely its real and imaginary parts u and v will satisfy CR equation or CR condition. Since this function is analytic, and we know that for analyticity the necessary condition is what? The necessary condition is that the CR conditions must be satisfied. So this u and v will satisfy CR condition. It is analytic in a domain D, so u and v will satisfy CR condition, Cauchy-Riemann condition. Cauchy-Riemann condition, I write it in short CR condition. And what is that condition? You know very well. This is del u del x equal to del v del y del v del y. Let us say this is equation 1, and the another condition is del u del y equal to minus del v del x minus del v del x. These are in fact CR conditions. Now just apply a simple mathematical process. We differentiate equation 1 with respect to x and equation 2 with respect to y partially. Differentiate differentiate 1 and 2 with respect to x and y respectively. We have to differentiate equation 1 with respect to x and equation 2 with respect to y. What will be our result? The result is simple. This is del 2u del x square, and this will be equal to del 2v by del x del y. Say this is equation 3, and we have to differentiate equation 2 with respect to y. What will be our result? This will be del 2u by del y square, and this equal to minus del 2v by del y del x. Let us say this is equation 4. Now simply we add these two equations, that is 3 and 4, and let us see what will be our result. You have to add these two equations 3 and 4, adding 3 and 4. What we will get? We will get del 2u del x square plus del 2u del y square, and this equal to del 2v del x del y minus del 2v del y del x. See here, v of xy is in fact an exact differential. Exact differential, and so the second order derivative of this v does not depend on the order, and if it does not depend on order, then these two derivatives are in fact same, and if these are same, what will be our result? This will be in fact 0. So we may write del 2u del x square del 2u del x square plus del 2u del y square, and this equal to 0. You may see this is in fact Laplace equation in 2 dimensions, and u of xy is its solution. And as we have defined above, that a function which satisfies Laplace equation in 2 dimensions is a harmonic function. So definitely we can say that the real part u of xy of our function of a complex variable f of z is a harmonic function, which is an in fact analytic function, and u is a harmonic function. In a similar manner, in fact, considering the above two equations, if we will differentiate equation 1 with respect to y, equation 2 with respect to just in reverse manner, and after that we will subtract one equation from another, we will get the result for v, and that result will be just like a. So this is I leave it for exercise to you. You may self try, as I have given you hint that you have to differentiate equation 1 with respect to y and 2 with respect to x, and after that you have to subtract one equation from another, and then you will get the result. So in a similar manner, in a similar manner we will get what we will get? We will get del 2v by del x square plus del 2v by del y square, and this equal to 0. So what we see from these two equations? We simply see that u and v both are the solutions of Laplace equation in two dimensions. Or in other words, you may say u and v satisfy the Laplace equation in two dimensions. And as the definition of harmonic function says, if a function satisfies Laplace equation, then such a function is called harmonic function. So now it is clear that the real and imaginary part of the analytic function f of z, that is u and v, satisfy Laplace equation, and so u and v are what? These are harmonic functions. So the statement is now completely proved. These are harmonic functions. After knowing the concept of harmonic function, now I am just going to discuss one of its most important applications. It's one of the most important applications is in constructing an analytic function. Constructing an analytic function. The idea of harmonic function is used in constructing an analytic function. Let us see, whenever we are given either the real part of an analytic function or its imaginary part, in that condition, by using the concept of harmonic function, we can construct the analytic function. It means if a real part is given, we can find its imaginary part, or conversely, if the imaginary part of analytic function is given, we can find its real part. And when both of parts of this function will be known, then we can easily construct the analytic function, because we know the general form of f of z is what? This is in fact u plus iv. So if we are given u, we can find v, and if we are given v, we can find u, and after finding u and v, we can construct the analytic function. I would like to clarify or explain this idea by a simple problem. Just taking an example for illustration, I would like to explain this fact. Let us take an example, or you may say an illustration. We consider an example to clarify the idea of construction of an analytic function. We consider a simple example. For simplicity, I divide this problem in three parts for your convenience. Let us say the first part is so that show that v of xy equal to 3x square y minus y cube is harmonic. This is first part of our example. The second part is find the conjugate function u of xy. U of xy, this is conjugate function of this v, and we have to find this u. And number C, finally, find the analytic function. In fact, this is our aim. Find the analytic function f of z equal to u of xy plus I times of v of x comma y. Let us see. In this problem, we have given the imaginary part of the analytic function f of z, that is v, and we have to find its real part. And after finding the real part, we will have to construct this function. But whenever I would like to find the real part when imaginary part is given, definitely the idea of harmonic function should be utilized, must be utilized. And for simplicity, I have just mentioned in part A of the problem that we have to show that the given function v is harmonic. If it is not asked, if the question will be directly to find the analytic function f of z, then all the above steps we will have to follow. For simplicity, I have break the problem in 3 different parts, but main problem is how I will find f of z, and for finding f of z all the above steps will be followed. So let us now see how we will solve this problem. This problem is for illustration or for knowing the application of the idea of harmonic function for constructing an analytic function. Since we have to prove in first part that the given function v is harmonic, and I have studied just now that if a function is harmonic, then definitely that function will satisfy Laplace equation. So if v is harmonic in a domain, this v must satisfy the two-dimensional Laplace equation in that domain. So you may say, if v will satisfy Laplace equation, in short I write it LA, in 2D, in two dimension, that is del 2 v del x square plus del 2 v del y square equal to 0, then V is said to be harmonic. We have just studied it. If V will satisfy this Laplace equation in two dimensions, only then we can say that V is harmonic. And we have to prove that the given V is harmonic, so we have to prove this result, or we have to prove that V will satisfy this equation. Now, what is the expression for V given in our problem? See, V of xy is given what? This is in fact 3x square y minus y. This is already given in our problem. As we have to see that this function V will satisfy this equation, so we must find these two derivatives of second order of V. Therefore, this is a very simple differentiation. As V is a function of x and y, two independent variables, so we must follow the partial differentiation. When you find del V by del x, you must keep y constant. So see here, what will be del V by del x? This will be keeping y constant. This will be 6xy, 3x square y, that will be 6xy, and y cube, and dc of this will be 0. So del V del x is simply 6xy. And if del V del x is 6xy, what will be del 2V del x square? Differentiate once again with respect to x partially. The result will be simply 6y. Say this is equation 1. Now we find del V del y. Now we must differentiate with respect to y, keeping x constant. So what will be our result? Here this will be 3x square minus 3y square, and the second order derivative, we will again differentiate it. This will be del 2V del y square, and this will be equal to what? Now this dc of this will be 0, and so the result will be minus 6y. Say it is equation number 2. We have just find the second order derivative of the given function V with respect to x and with respect to y. Now add these two equations, that is equation number 1 and equation number 2. We just add it, adding 1 and 2, adding 1 and 2, what we will get? Let us add these two equations, 1 and 2 we add. The result will be del 2V del x square plus del 2V del y square, and this will be what? See here, 6y minus 6y, that will be simply 0. And this 0 value implies del 2V del x square plus del 2V del y square equal to 0. What is this? This is in fact Laplace equation in two dimensions in terms of V. It means V satisfies Laplace equation in 2 dimension, and this is Laplace equation in 2D. As V satisfies Laplace equation in 2 dimension, so from the definition of harmonic function, you may say that V is a harmonic function or V is harmonic. So this implies V of xy is harmonic. So whenever in any problem we are given a function and we have to show that that function is a harmonic function, we must see the function satisfies Laplace equation in 2 dimension or not. If it satisfies the Laplace equation in 2 dimension, the function will be harmonic. But if it does not satisfy Laplace equation in 2 dimension, definitely the function will be not harmonic. So this is the first part of our problem. Now let us see the second part. In second part, what we have been asked? We have been asked that we have to find the conjugate function u of xy. V of xy is given, that is imaginary part of the analytic function is given, and we have to find the real part. See in fact the above results which I have obtained previously in equation 1 or 2, you may see here. See here, del v del x and del v del y I have calculated. This is 6xy and this is 3x square minus y square. Now we will make the use of CR condition, and by the use of CR condition we will in fact relate these partial derivatives of v with the partial derivatives of u, and after that we will calculate the function u of xy. In fact, according to CR equation, we know del u del x equal to what? This is in fact equal to del v by del y. And see above, what is del v by del y? This del v by del y is 3x square minus 3y square. So directly you may say del u del x is equal to 3x square minus 3y square. Let us say this is equation 3. Now I am writing here again from Laplace, from CR condition, del u by del y. What is this? This equals to in fact minus del v del x. And see above, del v del x is equal to 6, del v del x is equal to 6xy. So this will be equal to minus 6xy. So directly we may write del u by del y is equal to minus 6xy. Say it is equation number 4. Now we have two equations 3 and 4 where the partial derivatives of u have been defined with respect to the variable x and y. As we know the partial derivative of u with respect to x and with respect to y, so simply after the integration we will get the function u of xy. For this, now we integrate equation 3 with respect to x. See here, it is in fact partial differentiation. So during integration we must take into account integrating 3 with respect to x, keeping y constant. We will integrate equation 3 with respect to x, but we have to keep y constant. What will be the result? In fact, this will be integral of del u del x with respect to x. So you may say the integral of LHS will be u of xy. Integration cancels differentiation, and this function should be integrated with respect to x, keeping y constant. So what will be the integral of this first term? This will be 3x cube over 3, and 3 will be cancel out. So this will be simply x cube minus 3y square should be taken constant. So integral will be of dx, and integral of dx will be x. So this will be what? This will be 3x y square plus some constant. Remember, this constant must be conceived by a constant which will be a function of y, but independent of x, because in this case we are integrating with respect to what? With respect to x. So this constant cannot be a function of x, but it may be a function of y. So we consider, or we may recognize this constant as a function of y. So you may write it, this u of xy equal to x cube minus 3xy square plus a function of y. Let us say this is equation 4. Now we will integrate, in fact, equation number 4. We will integrate equation 4 with respect to y, keeping x constant. Integrate 4 with respect to y, keeping x constant. What will be our result? The result will be u of xy equal to minus, see the above equation, minus 3x y square plus some constant. As in this case integration has been made with respect to y, so the constant term will be not a function of y but we can recognize the constant as a function of x. So let us say this function is g, not f. Just change the symbol. This is g of x, and say this is equation number 6. In fact, this is equation number 5, and this is equation number 6. Now see the equation number 5 and equation number 6. In fact, these two equations define the same function u of xy. So we may equate these two equations. And after equating, what we will get? Equate these two equations, we will get x cube minus 3x y square plus a function of y, and this is equal to minus 3x y square plus a function of x. See this equation very seriously. In LHS, we find that there is two terms. One is x cube, another is minus 3x square. In RHS, there is minus 3x square and a function of x, and LHS a function of y too. After inspecting this equation, you may easily say that this function f of y will be an absolute constant, and that will be in fact 0, and this function g of x must be equal to x cube. Only then the equation will be satisfied. For satisfaction of this equation, say this is equation 7 of 7, we must have f of y equal to what? This should be 0, and g of x should be equal to x. So now we can define the function u of x by from equation 5 or 6 in any equation. Hence, you may say that u of xy is equal to x cube minus 3x y square. See, we have find the real part of the analytic function f of z as we have given v of xy, and by the concept of harmonic function we have easily calculated its real part, that is u of xy. Now you see that we know both of the real and imaginary part of the analytic function. So easily now we will construct the analytic function. So the corresponding analytic function. Corresponding analytic function. F of z. As we know, f of z is given as u of xy plus I times v of xy. Substitute here the values of u and v from above equations. What we will get? This will be u of xy is in fact x cube minus 3x y square and plus I times of v of xy. V of xy is already given in our problem, and what is that? That is in fact 3x square y minus y cube. And you can see this will be in fact equal to z cube. You may verify this. I am just leaving it for your exercise that this expression may be written as z cube. I am just giving a hint that you know z equal to in fact x plus iy. X plus iy. So if we have to know z cube, you must find x plus y whole cube. Simplify this, you will get this result, and so we can write this expression as z cube. So our analytic function is z cube. I think after this example, you have been clearly understood how we will test that a given function is a harmonic function, and if the real or imaginary part of an analytic function is given, how we will find its another part, and after finding the another part, how we will construct the analytic function. These all things definitely you have understand, as I hope. Now I am in fact mentioning some of the important facts without proof, and this statement can be proved analytically by the idea developed in this lecture. So these are also left by me for you as an exercise. I am just mentioning the statement, mentioning the fact. You must remember these facts, but try to prove these facts analytically by utilizing the concept which you have read in this lecture. So some important facts to remember. Without analytical proof, I am mentioning some of the important facts, but hope you will definitely do exercise to prove these results. First of all, number 1, I am just writing for convenience these results. If v of xy is a harmonic conjugate of u of xy in a domain D, then every harmonic conjugate of every harmonic conjugate of u of xy in D must be of the form v of xy plus a, where a is a real constant, where a is a real constant. This is first remarkable fact. As I have told you, I am not giving its analytical proof. You should remember it and try to prove these results or explain these results on the basis of the idea developed in this lecture. Now, number 2, another important fact. The another important fact is, if V is a harmonic conjugate, of U. V is a harmonic conjugate of U, then minus U is a harmonic conjugate for V. A very remarkable fact. If V is a harmonic conjugate of U, then minus U is a harmonic conjugate for V. Remember and try to prove. Now the third important fact. If V is a harmonic conjugate, V is a harmonic conjugate of U in a domain D, then U times V, U into V, U times V, that is U into V, you may say, U into V is harmonic in D. A very important fact. If V is a harmonic conjugate of U in a domain D, then the product U into V or U times V is also harmonic in D. A most important fact. As I have told you, remember it and try to prove it. And now the last important fact. Harmonic functions. functions have continuous partial derivatives. Partial derivatives of all orders. Harmonic functions have continuous partial derivatives of all orders. It means we can find the partial derivative of any order, say nth order, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on of a harmonic function. So these are some important facts, as I have told you, that we should remember it, and simultaneously I suggest you to try to prove these statements analytically, and the idea which is developed in this lecture will help you to prove these results. If you are successful in proving these results, it means you have understand all the ideas developed in this lecture. So this is all for today, and in next lecture we will meet together with some new idea, that is in fact CR equation in polar coordinates and the orthogonality property of the harmonic functions. So this is all for today.